So this is our last day here in Niali, and I wanted to tell you about one of the people we've met while we were here. His name's Michael, and normally I would say he's in his 80s. I actually asked him how old he was, and he didn't know. It's possible he's only in his 70s because life is pretty tough here, and it really takes its toll on people physically. One thing we do know, though, is he has gradually lost his sight over the last 5 years, and now he's effectively blind. So when government forces came here as part of the conflict, and they were killing people, and were stealing the cattle, and looting people's possessions, he and his family fled into the swamp, and I can't begin to imagine how terrifying it must have been for an elderly man who is effectively blind to have to flee into waist-deep water to try and escape the fighting. They stayed there for 2.5 months, and when they came back, they'd lost most of their possessions. But one thing they did have was some nets and some fishing hooks that they'd received from Christian Aid, and that was really important because although some of the family are registered to receive WFP food as part of the voucher system, not all of them get that assistance, and so they do need to supplement it with fishing. And you know, people talk a lot about teaching a man to fish, and it's ridiculous really. Michael lives on the edge of the biggest swamp in the world. He's been here for years. He knows exactly how to fish, far better than I would in a place like this. But one person who doesn't know how to fish is his 10-year-old son Eunice, and so when Michael goes into the swamp, he needs help. Eunice isn't in school at the moment, school isn't in, but he takes Eunice because he needs someone who can see, and Eunice is at the same time learning to fish. And although it's an incredibly difficult thing for them both to have to do, there's something quite moving about the fact that even at a time like this, they are passing on an incredibly important skill for survival here. And I'm very grateful that Christian Aid have worked with communities to try and help them be more self-sufficient, to supplement the meagre food that they are often getting. And I'm also hopeful that in the future they might be able to do more, and indeed the DEC might be able to do something to support them.